Stop. Progress.
Hey, let's talk about why most bookkeepers limit their success. So, this is a very, very, very important topic, right? Because the number one thing that I see that causes most people to struggle is not really an external thing. It's not like, like the people are against you, or you can't find clients, or you can't do XYZ. It's really what's inside of you. It's really what's inside of you. So, how you feel in your heart, how you feel in your head, and the thoughts that you use to kind of navigate the world. Now, if you want some help before you even jump into this video, growing your accounting or your bookkeeping business, and you've been trying to do it on your own, and you've been trying, you're either thinking about it or you're trying to get started, it's just not working for whatever reason, but you don't really know why it's not working, or you don't really know, how to move on to the next level, but you're trying to grow, you're trying to make that level, you're trying to reach your goal. Go ahead and click on the link inside the description below to book a call with me. On that call, we're going to do three things. We're going to say, like, hey, where are you right now? Like, what is the business? What does your life look like right now? And next, where do you want to go? Like, what does it look like once you've actually reached that goal and you've reached your vision? And then finally, if I think it can help, I'll just outline what that process would look like for us to work together to accomplish that goal. And if it makes sense, we can get you onboarded right then and there. We can move forward towards your dreams together. Now, what are the things that cause most people to struggle? Okay, so number one, it's the way that you think about yourself, you think about the world, you think about how people interact with you. Generally, there's a principle called the mirror principle. And it's, how you see the world is also how you think that people are going to see you. For example, I was just on a call with a lady and she was like, how do I get people to trust me? And my answer to her was, it's really not that people don't trust you. It's just that you don't trust anyone and you project that onto other people. And since you don't trust people and you're just kind of thinking it, you're doing things that are ending up like sabotaging yourself and sabotaging your goal. It's almost like, let me see, for example, this sword, right? It's almost like back in ancient times they'd have like ninjas and samurais, right? They'd be cutting and cutting and cutting. And oftentimes there was this form of torture where it wasn't that they would just kill you right away, right? They would just make these little incisions and little cuts on you, little cuts, and they would just death by 1,000 cuts because it wouldn't be quite a vital area, but it'd be extremely painful. And then eventually you just run out of blood because they just cut enough arteries, and then either like kill you after a certain point, and slash, or they would just like cut one blood vessel that was like really, really, really vital, and then you just be gone, right? But it was extremely tough like that. And that's how most people actually live their business and live out their dream of starting a business. Is that there's all these little things that are just cutting you down and preventing you from being able to go and get the results that you want. But then you kind of think that it's more of like, oh, I can't find clients. And it's not that you can't find clients, it's that you don't really have the tools and the mindsets to be able to go and talk to the right people to become your clients. Or you keep limiting yourself, and every single time that you might be talking to someone who is a potential client, you might say, oh, there's no way they're going to work for me. There's no way they're going to want my help. There's no way they're going to actually do this. There's no way they're going to pay me money. They don't have budget. Like all these different things. It's like your mind chatter kind of happened. A good example of a student who overcame this mindset chatter was Ashley. So when Ashley first got started, she had a number of people who were reaching out to her in her local area, and they were basically saying like, "Hey, whenever you're ready to start, like we want to work with you." And I was like, okay, cool. We talked on our initial consultation call for joining my program. Like, oh, dude, this is awesome. You got four people. They already want your help. And like, we just had to go and just make sure the sales presentation, the sales format is really good. Then when you go speak to them, they're going to be willing to pay you, a pretty good amount of money. So session number one goes in, we talk, say, okay, cool. So you're going to reach out to them. You're going to go and book this call. Coaching call number two goes, and I'm like, hey, so how did you do last week? Did you book these calls? How is this going? Like, when are they scheduled? Oh, I didn't do it. And I was like, what? Why not? And they said, oh, blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. So next time, then we'll have that done by next time, right? She goes, yeah. Get on call number three. Same thing. And we had to dig into like, what's up? Why are we not making the progress? Like she had even gotten more people to say they're interested. So she had like six people to say they're interested, but she just for whatever reason was not pulling the trigger. So we got to like we just kind of asked like I think it's like called it's the exercise called asking six whys. It's like why did you not do this? But why did you not do that? But why? But why? But why? And then you get to the real core problem of exactly what's holding the person back. And for her, it was that, she had previously, struggled in a business that she used to run. And it was really hard for her to get sales, hard for her to get people to say yes. And she ended up having to, go through the embarrassment of just the business not working out. And that's something I've experienced too. Like this is not by no means my first business. And even then it took me 2 times of starting this business before my accounting, my bookkeeping firm, in order for me to actually find success, right? I mean, I've been in business for about a decade. And the reason why it's a decade, but I've only ran my accounting business for the last 7 years, because the first 3 years I had a business and I was like doing things like on e-commerce, right? So doing like Amazon, eBay and drop shipping, because that's the easiest thing that I thought I could do, just start selling stuff online. And it was doing okay, but I ended up failing with that. And I had to like shut it down. And like it was one of those things where everyone had known that I was like, into business, and everybody was always asking, blah 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 blah, like, why is business not still around? Why are you not doing this? What's up? And kind of feeling that embarrassment, and then so I understood where she was coming from. So we had to first say, like, well, what happens if you do fail? Okay, cool. Well, what happened if you don't fail? Okay, cool. Now, what happens if you don't fail? You start talking to people, and then they say that they're not interested in your service because it's too much money. Well, this happens. Okay, cool. What happens if you get the call, they say yes, and you start working? Well, this happened. Okay, cool. We just kept saying, like, what are the alternatives? What is the success? What is the failure? Is the failure going to be to a point to where it's like it's unbearable, or is it more going to be like really high reward, really low risk? And after she started looking at it from that perspective, and then after she got some confirmation that, she really could do it, and people actually did like her and wanted to work with her, and she wasn't going to fail, that's when she stopped having those limiting beliefs, those limiting mindset patterns that were causing her to fail. And that caused her to start succeeding. She was at like 7 grand a month in under, I think it took only like probably 4 months to get to about 7 grand a month, starting from zero. And so it's not that growing your business is hard. It's just that learning how to become a person that can actually run a six-figure business. That's the thing that most people struggle with, especially if you've been working in corporate America for a long time and you never really had to develop those like internal characteristics of like just certain things that you have to develop. It's a business is a really like it's a journey of personal development. Your ability to be able to control your schedule, to control your sleep habits, to control your eating, to control your exercise, to control your mindset, to control your relaxation ability, to control your ability to handle stress, to control your ability to deal with people interpersonally, both inside of your company if you have a team, as well as the potential clients, and even referral partners, and managing. It's like all these different things that have to come into balance in order for you to grow your business and run it very successfully. And most people just have not, had the need to really develop that. There's a number of people where, they make $200,000 a year in corporate America. They try and start their business and they can't do it because it's a totally different skill set. It's totally different. Now, for those of you where maybe if you didn't have a great career in corporate America, that should actually give you a lot of hope, because if your career wasn't amazing in corporate America, or maybe you didn't do the best in school when you were younger, like high school, college, post grad, it does actually give you a little bit more leeway to start your business. I've noticed that a lot of people when they're first starting in their career, maybe they're making like, 60, 70, $80,000 per year. And then they're trying to replace that in their first year goal in business, like 60, 70, 80. Those are generally people that I see who it's the easiest for them to go and get to, six figures. They're making 10K, 20K, in some cases 30K per month, right? And I don't exactly know why it is, right? Where I've noticed on the extremes it can be kind of hard. So if you're not making any money, like if you're making like 1,000 a month, 2,000, 3,000 a month, it's probably about a 7 out of 10 for you to go and get to that high level. If you're making more like 200, 250, 300 plus, it can be again 7 out of 10. But if you're right in that middle of that zone, making 5, 6, 7, 8,000 per month at your current job, that's generally a 10 out of 10 easiness level. Where I don't know if the skill sets are just kind of applicable, or if it's the mentality of the person who's in those type of positions. But those are generally the ones who I've seen who have been able to kind of grow their business the fastest and the easiest. So if that's you, hopefully it gives some hope. If you're on either end of the spectrum, like of the lower end or the higher end, hopefully this gives you some hope too, because all it is just you learn different skill sets, you change your mental habits, you develop yourself as a person, then you're able to go and grow a business that can give you as much freedom as you want to spend time with your family, your loved ones, go on vacation, go watch the horse races, go to art shows, um, And yeah, you just live the life that you want. Now, if you want some help going and reaching your goals, maybe you've been trying for a little while and it's just not quite working the way that you either anticipated, or you just don't really know exactly what caused you to go and get to that next level of success. Maybe it's 10,000, 12,000, $15,000 per month, or maybe your goal is like $25,000 per month. If that's where you are and you want some help growing your business, go ahead and click on the link inside the description below to book a call with me. On that call, we're going to do three things. We're going to say, hey, where are you right now? Where do you want to go? And thirdly, if I think it can help you out, I'm going to outline what that process looks like, what it look like for us to work together, and you're going to be able to know exactly what you need to do to grow your business moving forward. And even if we don't work together right then and there, that's okay too. At least you're going to have a solid game plan as to what you need to accomplish until it is time for us to work together. Now, if you're ready for the call, go ahead and click on the link below, book the call right now. If you're not quite ready, that's okay. No harm, no foul. You can just keep watching these videos until things are in a slightly different position, and you can book a call at that time. Hopefully, have a great rest of your evening. I'll talk to you soon. I'll see you later.